Hey, what's up? It's Magda here from Crypto Masters. Hope you're having a lovely day. Today we're looking at some of the most important recent events in crypto. So first up, Coinbase is continuing to expand its portfolio of cryptocurrency items, introducing new ways for buyers to spend their cryptocurrency on everyday shopping. So it's pretty exciting. Coinbase has announced that customers in the EU and Australia are now able to spend their cryptocurrency on e-gift cards instantly. The platform becomes a first to give the possibility of direct withdrawals into e-gift cards. So Coinbase has partnered up with WeGift, a digital gift card provider, and this service is available in the UK, Spain, Italy, France, Netherlands, and yep, even the Aussies are getting a piece of it. So Coinbase users can basically withdraw their cryptocurrency holdings into e-gift cards. These in turn can be used to pay for a range of different services, and even with some pretty popular retailers such as Uber, Nike, Tesco, Ticketmaster, Google Play, and so on. So basically you can grab a taxi, get yourself a pair of Nike trainers, go do your veggie shopping, and buy yourself ACD tickets using crypto. That's pretty revolutionary. Additionally, customers who buy gift cards will be able to enjoy zero withdrawal fees. Got crypto to spend but don't want to buy gift cards? Well, places to pay with crypto are actually multiplying like mushrooms. You can pay for flights and hotels through Cheap Air and Surf Air. Expedia has removed its pay with Bitcoin option earlier this month, but that doesn't really limit your choices when it comes to travel and accommodation. Plenty of others to choose from. Hell, you can even pay for space travel with crypto using, companies like Virgin Galactic. And if you're not that ambitious and you just want a good old aircraft or yacht, bitpremiere.com is the place you're looking for. And to be honest, you can buy things as down to earth as honey, beef, coffee, airplane tickets, music tuners, dog photographs. Some musicians like Björk even let you download their music using crypto. So you've got loads of options. If you need help in finding places to pay with your crypto, BitScan has the largest categorized, mapped, and verified business directory in the world. So you won't go hungry or get bored with your crypto. Lots of companies in general have actually capitalized on the free marketing that comes with saying, hey, we accept Bitcoin or we accept crypto. And the amount of business that some companies have received by accepting crypto payments has really exceeded everyone's expectations. So, here's another interesting business opportunity you may not have thought of. Now, obviously, the first and most important site to draw attention to Bitcoin as a payment mechanism or crypto as a payment mechanism in general was the slightly dodgy Silk Road. So it did kind of make it clear how easy it is to use Bitcoin in illicit and illegal activities like drugs and guns. Though the fact that big business names have accepted Bitcoin and crypto as a form of payment shows that regulation has introduced more people and government-friendly kind of face of Bitcoin. So keep a lookout here for more. Next up, let's move to the USA, where lawmakers are calling for more action from Congress on regulating crypto. Now, ignorance may be bliss for some, but ask anyone in commerce or finance and they will make it clear. Ignorance is risk. For that reason, US markets introduce regulation to ensure transparency and fairness. So stocks are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, commodities by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and government currency is regulated by the Department of the Treasury and the Federal Reserve. But an important fourth asset class, cryptocurrencies, has no singular regulator. And that is leading to uncertainty and confusion. Without clear regulations, cryptocurrency innovation in the United States is really being slowed down. Entrepreneurs are keeping away from crypto opportunities for fear of, just breaking the law. Investors hang back because of uncertainty regarding valuation, and the Commonwealth suffers as other countries attract more innovators away from the United States by creating laws that make their jurisdictions simply more attractive to this growing asset class. You know, the growth of blockchain technology and ICOs is in a way being sabotaged in the United States because regulators are forced to use laws created a decade ago, well before the internet took off, and in some cases even before World War II. And Congressman Bill Huizenga seems to be aware of this and has urged for the US Congress to focus on crypto regulation in an interview with Bloomberg, July 27th. Huizenga wants to see more oversight in what he considers the muddied and fairly opaque initial coin offering and digital markets. He thinks that Congress should empower financial regulators such as the Securities and Exchange Commission and the CFTC to regulate the market based on the same rules that govern other currencies and stocks. Huizenga said that the main reason for focusing on crypto regulation is to guarantee that investors dealing with ICOs and cryptocurrencies are protected and given a due level of transparency, which makes perfect sense. The main problem is agreeing how digital currencies should be classified. You know, the fact that each financial regulator classifies digital tokens within the infrastructure, within the obligations of their institutions, doesn't make it any easier. Just to clarify this, the SEC considers cryptocurrencies as securities. The CFTC, on the other hand, argues that digital tokens are commodities, while other regulators like FinCEN and the IRS say that cryptocurrencies should be considered money and property respectively. That's the thing. Cryptocurrencies weren't taken seriously for ages. They were treated as Greek money. They were treated as geek money that would never make it to any institutionally recognized places. The only whispers about it were on the news about sensationalist stuff like Mt. Gox or the Silk Road. It was never anything heavy, you know, anything that serious investors or economists thought serious enough to consider. When other countries started looking into it, it was just news like, oh, this cafe is accepting Bitcoin for coffee. There was never any news like that there was never any news like that out of the USA. You know, I think they thought it was just going to be a passing fad. I don't know, ignorance, lack of information, they didn't care. Well, to be fair, I guess when you control something for ages, for centuries even, you kind of take it for granted that there is no other system that could ever replace yours. You just stop believing in any small initiatives that could actually get you out of power. You don't take stuff seriously, and that's dangerous when you stop paying attention to what's around you, when you don't keep your finger on the pulse. So in the USA, there is a very different mindset to that in Europe, where the potential reach of crypto is seriously underplayed. We know crypto will change the world. Perhaps it's still in a very baby phase and it's all over the shop, though the fact that it's being integrated by other countries and international exchanges, that it's the hottest discussed topic in parliament all over the world. And then you have USA, who is just really lagging behind with regulatory clarity. You know, we're all wondering when proper crypto regulation will happen and when the SEC will come up with this information. At the beginning of this year, the SEC told us that we would have regulation by summer. And then around Feb or March, a member of the SEC or CFTC said that they expect we may not have crypto regulations for possibly a minimum of 18 months. Now we have opinions that it might take up to 5 years. So USA, you better get your act together because you could potentially miss out. Next up, some good news. Some time ago, Facebook allowed crypto ads again on its platform, and surprise, surprise, Google has followed in its footsteps. So Google has once again allowed crypto ads. This comes after Google banned crypto ads and received quite a backlash from the financial industry, who called it unfair and troubling. Facebook changed its mind after they increased security measures, and currently those wishing to advertise crypto-related services will have to submit a special kind of application, which will have to include proper licenses as well as various documents that prove that the firms have a legitimate business background. Google's decision is definitely great for the crypto sphere, as it is a key player in sharing information in the public domain. Next up, quite a lot of crypto controversy as President Nicolas Maduro, in a public broadcast July 26, said that Venezuela will remove 5 zeros from its overinflated currency, the bolivar, and peg it to its controversial petro cryptocurrency. So Venezuela has launched a national cryptocurrency and now is also the first country to peg the value of its national fiat currency to the value of a crypto asset rather than the US dollar, as is usually done. The petro was created to help Venezuela's dying economy. Donald Trump's office imposed new financial sanctions against Venezuela back in August 2017. This was a response to President Nicolas Maduro trying to rewrite the country's constitution and, according to Trump, trying to grab more presidential powers. So basically, for America, the whole Venezuelan population is starving, and instead of addressing these issues, their government is busy trying to get more power for themselves. So that's where the sanctions came from. Now, just to give you some insight into the situation now, Venezuela has massive oil reserves. So all the while, the population has total shortages of food and basic necessities, not to mention its 5-digit inflation. The sanctions were meant to block banks from dealing with the government of Venezuela and the state-run gas and oil sector. The sanctions were also meant to restrict the Maduro regime's access to American debt and equity markets. So just to give you some more context, Venezuela became the first country in the world to declare a cryptocurrency as their primary currency. Japan acknowledges Bitcoin as a legal currency, but the yen is still the country's primary currency. The petro was built on the Ethereum blockchain and is backed by oil. Maduro says that Venezuela will respect payments for tax in petros. The current primary currency, the bolivar, is under record-setting inflation to the point where people have been paying for things with trash bags full of money, which are being valued by their weight rather than by their currency. The money is being weighed in bags. Picture that. Some have actually resorted to good old barter and are paying in natural currencies such as egg and milk. The main problem seems to be that the petro is being pushed as the money of the people, for the people, to save them from the evil sanctions of the USA, while in reality it is a centralized, perhaps corrupt government-issued currency that has little to do with decentralization and empowering the poor. It looks like a government scheme for the Maduro office not to go bankrupt. Sadly, once again, we are witness to all the humanitarian hype that blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies have generated and is being used by companies and governments alike to grab investors and public support. Now, coming back to the bolivar being pegged to the cryptocurrency, this is definitely a first. A government usually pegs its cryptocurrency's value to that of another country when there is financial trouble, war, or revolution. Here it looks like a case of just basic mismanagement. Currency pegs allow importers and exporters to create a stable trading environment, though in the past, a currency's value was usually pegged to a stable country's currency, like the American dollar. Here it's pegged to a cryptocurrency. So it's all looking like a shaky economical experiment. So let's not get fooled by all this hype that Venezuela is propagating cryptocurrencies, and thanks to this, we're getting more kind of outreach. This looks like a dangerous kind of playing on the humanitarian aspect of this. Next up, MasterCard CEO Ajay Banga attacks cryptocurrencies and calls them junk, useless junk. The funny thing is that he insults cryptocurrencies just as MasterCard wins a patent to link fiat and cryptocurrency transactions. An important piece of advice here. An important thing to remember is that you shouldn't listen to what bank CEOs or big financial institutions like MasterCard or governments in general, because cryptocurrencies are the counter movement to these big financial institutions and governments. They're actually fighting against these centralized monopolies. So anyone who listens to these guys is just kind of stupid and naive. How can you listen to the opinion of someone who we're actually fighting with? Because that's what we're basically trying to do. We're using cryptocurrencies to fight with the institutional status quo of these guys, with the injustice and financial slavery that surrounds us, and with the fact that a small group of people can print as much money as they want. The free market is one of the most important inventions, true. However, the fact that someone can come along and print as much money as they want, just because fiat money, the money we're legally using in our countries, isn't based on anything, not gold, not oil, nothing, just a piece of paper anyone can print. It's kind of like legally agreed. So remember, if the CEO of a bank or MasterCard is talking about cryptocurrencies, you can bet on it that he has an agenda. He has a hidden interest that we can't see at first glance. If cryptocurrencies really were that useless, he wouldn't be talking about them. And if he keeps attacking them, while at the same time embracing blockchain technology, you can bet on it that he has some hidden agenda, and you need to keep your ears oiled to make sure you're catching out all this false kind of data. And the last news item today, sadly, the Winklevoss brothers Bitcoin ETF has been rejected for a second time, because as you probably remember, they also applied last year and the Securities and Exchange Commission also rejected their request. So the American SEC claims they rejected the Bitcoin ETF request because of the possibilities it gave for market manipulation, and also because the Bitcoin market is too shallow. Now, opinions in SEC are divided, as many believe that the market is shallow exactly because all the big fish, exactly because all the big fish investors like Wall Street can't enter the market because of difficulties that having a Bitcoin ETF would eliminate. Oh, the irony. Looks like once again centralized institutions are making it harder for the crypto sphere to be regulated and more easily accessible for the masses. We've heard this before. Now, that's about it when it comes to the latest crypto news, and a little bit of crypto advice at the end. Remember to keep your stress levels low by meditating and staying away from your computer screen for as long as possible. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.